Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the Sikh Channel Business Show. I'm very pleased today to be joined by two special guests, James from the Natwest and Geeta from Green Sisters. James, welcome to the Sikh Channel Business Show.
Thank you very much.
Perhaps we can start with you. Can you introduce yourself? What's your title and where do you work?
Yeah, my name's James Powell. I'm the Regional Entrepreneur Director. I cover the area of the Midlands, Wales and the South West. My role is to provide an entrepreneurship programme to all businesses in those regions where we support the growth and acceleration of those businesses.
Super. It's a very big title and a big region.
Yes, it is a big region, yes.
That's great. And Geeta, can you please introduce yourself and which company you represent?
Yeah, hi, I'm Geeta Salhan. I'm a co-founder and director of Green Sisters Limited. I run that business along with my sister, and we specialise in manufacturing food that's for people with special dietary needs. So it's authentic Indian food with free from allergy qualities, yeah.
That's great, thank you very much. Perhaps, James, we can start with you. As a regional director of Natwest, how do you help and support young new business?
So the Natwest Entrepreneurship Programme, we operate in 12 hubs right across the UK. We have hubs in Birmingham, over in Northern Ireland, in Belfast, Scotland as well, right the way down to the south coast in Brighton. What we do is we operate a programme where we offer young entrepreneurs, young or old, our average age is actually around 40 for entrepreneurs, to come on to our programme. And what they will do is they will sit down, speak to our coaches, speak to our mentors, and our focus is around their growth and their acceleration. So we help them with contacts, we help them with the business model.
That's a great service. And Geeta, is Geeta's business part of your enterprise hub?
She is, yeah. She's part of our Birmingham hub. So Geeta joined us in April to look at accelerating her business. So there'll be two of my members of the team who'll be supporting Geeta. One who supports her with coaching and another one who supports with networks and contacts.
And Geeta, how's your experience been in the enterprise hub? Is it a good thing? Are you glad you joined the Natwest Enterprise Hub?
It's been fantastic. I have to be honest, when we first joined the hub, we were just really attracted by the fact that you had desk space that was free and the fact that we could use the office facilities, but it's so much more than that. One of the things that we've really enjoyed is, we have got a dedicated one-to-one accelerator manager who actually helps us to have dedicated time for our business where we can talk through specific challenges that we maybe face. And I think one of the best things that we found was in the first week of joining, we had a 3-day boot camp. And really it was, the basics that you would need to know as a business that wants to flourish. So it's been really beneficial for us as a business to be around fellow entrepreneurs that really have a similar mindset to ourselves.
That's tremendous. And was it a brand new startup, a brand new business? Were you already established?
We started out towards the end of 2016, but we haven't really been trading properly in terms of revenue generating until this year. So for us, it was really helpful to kind of get through the knowledge of how you set yourself up to get the right foundations to build a really strong business purpose and build a really strong foundation to be able to move forward from. And that's something we're continuing to work with our acceleration managers on, both independently as sisters. Obviously working in a family business, there's always an interesting dynamic there.
There's two of you.
There is two of me. She doesn't look exactly like me.
older and younger.
It's my younger sister.
I see.
One of the reasons we started out the business is because as a business we have found challenges when it comes to having an inclusive dining experience, as I have a allergy to gluten, which means I can't eat some of the foods that we normally do around an Indian table, so rotis, samosas, bhajis, things like that. And we're really passionate about that inclusive dining experience. Rena doesn't have the similar challenges, but there's also an impact it has on the whole family. So one of the things we really wanted to do
That's
was,
tremendous.
bring that back to, the Asian table,
That's
the food that
great.
we can share together.
As a business born from your personal experience.
Yeah.
And James, is this a typical sort of business you support and take in, a small business which has started perhaps from home and somebody's got an idea, a personal experience that they want to take forward to market?
There's no typical business for our program, so we take everything from start-up to scale-up. So one of the largest businesses on our program is doing £500,000 turnover per month. So there's a broad range in there, and we're sector agnostic as well. So we'll look at any business. The tagline we have is from medtech to cookie dough. So we'll look at any business that's out there. And what we want to do is we focus on the entrepreneur. So we focus on Geeta. We ask her what's the leader she wants to become, what's the culture of her business she's trying to build, how does she want to reach the customers, and we support her and wrap around that support to help her reach those goals.
So it's got many elements of mentoring, coaching, support. And do you get any practical assistance with your business in terms of IT, marketing? You have office space. What are the practicalities of the benefits of being part of the Natwest Hub?
Well, every month there's a workshop that's delivered, usually by the acceleration managers, but also there's a meetup where we have specialists from business sectors, so a panel may be there, which we can pose questions to and take real practical steps to the learnings that they've had and integrate them into our own businesses. And when it comes to the acceleration manager-led workshops, they deliver fundamental skills. So there was one recently on funding, which isn't my forte, but is my sister's forte. So I'm brushing up on skills that are absolutely essential for a business person to be comfortable and confident with in areas where I need to grow. And then as a business, we're all rounded. So ultimately, there is, a really, really good foundation for, learning, the I suppose essentials, if you like, and the basics of business. Yeah.
So it's a good environment, a learning, a training environment. And let's talk about you personally. James, how long have you been with the Natwest?
I'm on my second stint with Natwest. So I joined in 2013 2003. I'm older than
So
what
that's 15 years.
15 years, yeah.
It's a long time. And why have you stayed so long?
Well, I started as an office junior following university, worked my way through different departments of the bank, started making teas and coffee and opening post. And then I got the opportunity in 2014 to join Entrepreneurial Spark, which was the startup that was running the acceleration program. So I left the bank and actually joined Entrepreneurial Spark. And then the bank, who was supporting the entrepreneurship scheme and the entrepreneur program, have then now taking over the Entrepreneur Accelerator program. And I found myself back working for Natwest. I enjoy it. I enjoy working for them. I enjoy working with the culture, the diversity. It's great. I really do enjoy working there.
That's tremendous. And Geeta, what's your background before you started your own business? What were you doing?
From the very early stages, I was in sales and marketing, but I actually studied chemistry as a degree. I suppose I've always been in business because my family has come from a business background, so that's really inspired me. You asked me earlier about do I go to India very often, and I go as much as I possibly can because there is a massive, heritage around business back in India. So, yeah.
And what's that? Can you perhaps tell us about your family business background?
Yeah, I mean, my baba, so my dad's dad, was a very successful entrepreneur in India, and my dad in the UK, when he came over to England, actually used to have and run and start up as you did back in those days, and shops and things like that. So most of my upbringing has been around newsagents and being behind the till at the age of 12, which possibly shouldn't have happened, but I did, and I really enjoyed it.
Often the best experience. I know a lot of us, myself included, we used to work in shops when we were younger. I was brought up in a shop in the retail business as well. And in many ways, it's the best training because you meet people, you learn about customer service. And retail is a tough business. It's the best training, I think.
It is. I mean, I thrived off it, and I liked the that customer engagement. So I suppose that's where I ended up in sales and marketing for pharmaceutical companies. And then I following on from there, was a training and development manager for a pharmaceutical company. But I've always wanted to sort of help aid the lives of other people who have experiences that are challenged by inclusion. So, you know, I've been really, really passionate to make sure that the business that we offer really does, you know, include an element of both the background, you know, the food, the authentic flavours, you know, the Indian business sort of side of things, as well as, you know, being very inclusive.
That's tremendous. James, Geeta's in quite a competitive market. The food industry it's a huge market, but it's also very well served. There's a lot of big companies already established and a lot of smaller providers who are already in the market. What do you think about Geeta's business? Is it a good chance for success?
Probably be a bit biased because I have a gluten intolerance as well, so I am a consumer of Geeta's products. But the whole program that we have asked the entrepreneurs to challenge themselves around becoming innovative. So not necessarily by the technology or by the product or the solution, but how they deliver it to market. So is it the channel? Is it the type of relationship they have with their customer?
Yes.
Is it around their culture and their values that they're trying to reach out so the customer feels part of that journey? So there is an opportunity. It's about taking hold of the right customer segment, reaching those early adopters and building a real brand and culture around this whole product. And then what you will see is that they will bring in time other customers along with them as well. And that's how you create that initial groundswell, and then the growth of the business will be there.
Is that the key to success, Geeta? James has described having a personality, a brand and a culture in a business. Is that the key to success, you feel?
I think it's really important to remain true to what you're passionate about, which includes obviously bringing the customer to the centre of the experience. And because that's really important to Green Sisters, I think that comes quite naturally. I think you have to be passionate about what you're delivering. And yes, you know, ultimately, it is about the way that we deliver it, and we're really fortunate to have such, you know, great mentors within the Accelerator programme. You know, everybody in that programme, not only, you know, our business, there are other businesses in there who, you know, have some real great purpose. And, you know, the value that we bring to each other in the way that we engage with one another will help us to be successful, because it's not just about me and my business, it's about people, you know, the businesses around us and the people that we serve as customers. So yes, I agree on both points.
That's tremendous. And talking about entrepreneurship in general, there's been a huge rise in recent years in entrepreneurship, people setting up business. James, not all businesses will succeed. How do you prepare people for failure and not succeeding with their enterprise?
One of the things we ask entrepreneurs is to fail fast, fail smart and fail cheap. So what we do is we focus on testing the riskiest assumption of a business model very early. And it's not about, I don't see it as failure, I see it as a first attempt in learning. It's an opportunity to understand why something is successful and why it isn't, and then how you can do what's called a pivot and go in a different direction. So the business may take a different shape, different form, different customer, but it's about learning from experiences.
That's tremendous. And Geeta, are you ready? You're obviously ready for success, but success is not always guaranteed. How do you cope with any form of failure? Have you got experience of failure in the past?
Oh God, that's a good question, because fortunately so far it's been, you know, a challenging experience, and we've had various experiences that we've learned from and are moving forward with. But in terms of failure, I can't pinpoint anything in particular that, you know, hasn't really been a failure. We were finalists in a competition last year for the business. We didn't win the competition, but I don't see that as failure, and I think that's really important as a business person. You have to be resilient and understand why and what the takeouts are from an experience like that. So we actually counted it as a success because we successfully learned how to pivot, as you know, James just mentioned, how to sort of learn from that experience, move it forward. And then since then we've joined the Accelerator programme, which really focuses on us as the individual. So I think, you know, having that balance, having the opportunities that come about with programmes like this enables us to be able to be the strongest we can be and be able to take those learnings, take them hard, hard, learn from them fast, you know, and really kind of do the best thing for both ourselves as individuals and also any business that we undertake. So hopefully, you know, failure won't be something we have to, you know, go through very often, but ultimately failure isn't always failure. Failure often is success. Yeah.
So failure can be part of the journey.
Yeah.
It's important to see it as a journey and not to be set back by failures, but to learn and grow from them.
Absolutely.
And what about sacrifice, personal sacrifice? Geetha, are you having to make a lot of personal sacrifice in terms of time, commitment, and starting your own business? Can you tell us about that?
Oh, you really don't want to start me on this topic. You have to be prepared. I don't call it sacrifice anymore because I think the word actually is learning how to balance. Because you will never not be doing business. You will, no matter what time of the day, it is a part of my life now. What I'm learning to do is to shape my life in a way that allows my business to be part of my life. Whereas in the corporate world, the difference is that, you know, you do have a cut-off point where you may take your hat off, and ultimately as an entrepreneur, your hat is always on. It's just you might wear a different hat depending on which part of the day you're in, which can be a fantastic thing as well, because ultimately when you're helping individuals, you're helping, you know, it's very fulfilling. Being in business can be very fulfilling. You just have to enable yourself to be, you know, to be able to pull on resources and learn how to, you know, really introduce that balance. I can't say I've done it. I think there's a bit of a milestone for both myself and Rena, who's my sister and co-founder. You know, we're working together, we're learning how to, you know, give ourselves the time to be ourselves as well.
Getting a balance with your personal life.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you have any great demands in your personal and family life, keeping a balance with work? Because work can take over your life.
It can, but it really is important to sort of engage with people and sort of take those family values, because we're a family business as well. That sort of, it's sometimes harder to define where that you know, balance is, but we're getting better at it. I can't say I've got a secret, just, you know, really kind of think carefully about when your time is and what you consider to be your time. So when I'm actually doing family things, what we will do is we'll say to each other, right now is about us, and sometimes that's just, you know, the way that you sort of do it. But you know, there's no right or wrong. It needs to work for you.
Absolutely.
I think it's fair to say that the best entrepreneurs out there do work hard.
Yes.
I don't think there's anything such as a normal 35-hour week anymore.
That's right.
And they do work hard, but also the great entrepreneurs are also find the time for well-being. I mean, it's looking after their body, their mind, but also spending their time with their loved ones as well. Because this should be a journey. You should enjoy the journey. Yeah. It's not always about the end destination. It's not always about the wealth creation. It's also about the journey of enjoying that progress as well as an entrepreneur. And we support and we talk to them, and we run well-being sessions as well, just to make sure that they're making time for themselves as well as focusing solely on the business.
And often people go to business, Geetha, because they want more flexibility. It's a lifestyle choice as well. They want to work when they want to and have time off when they want to. But it can work the other way. It can take over your life. I can tell you that as Seek Channel. Seek Channels have very much taken over my life. And as a TV station, it's 24/7, so you can never switch off.
Yeah.
Seek Channel's always running. It's a part of the world, and it is very demanding in terms of not just myself, but very much the team. People like Arthik, Gurpreet, Sharmul, Kamsing, all our team. They work extremely hard, and it is about teamwork. James, is that what you offer? You offer a team environment for entrepreneurs.
Yeah, so each of our hubs, we allow the entrepreneur to go away from their bedroom or their back room in their home and actually immerse themselves in a culture where they're going to be surrounded by 80 other like-minded entrepreneurs. So you've got businesses who can base themselves from our hub. We don't charge any rent. We don't take any equity in their business. This is all fully funded for them.
And why is the bank doing this? The Natwest are being very helpful. Is it part of their service to the community? Why the Natwest are so key to help young business?
I think if we succeed, they will succeed inevitably. You know, obviously we've got some great benefits with working with Natwest. We've already succeeded. They've given us an opportunity to sort of be part of the launch of the hub, where, you know, we showcased our products. Ultimately, if our products succeed, we will be consistently, you know, producing, you know, good financial funding for the economy, and that includes jobs. That includes, you know, banking. You know, but by no means does Natwest expect us to bank with them, so we don't personally bank with Natwest, although that's something we may choose to do in the future. I think there's some corporate responsibility there that the bank has really shown, and I think to bring and nurture the area of the region, it's an amazing thing to be able to be a part of, and that's the one thing that this hub actually creates, is a culture that harnesses, not just being about business, but also being about the ecosystem that we live in, and Natwest is being very responsible, I think, in that sense.
Yeah, we want to be the number one bank for entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
We want to be the go-to place for entrepreneurs to come and seek support, seek guidance, and also offer them the right facilities when they need. So the best way for us to do that is to help entrepreneurs at an early stage, but also learn from them as well. So within NatWest, we have our own Entrepreneur Development Academy, which is where we're actually training our own banking staff what it's like to be an entrepreneur. We put them in the shoes of an entrepreneur as well. So we're actually showing them what it feels like to invest time in trying to come up with a business idea, the risk that they have to take, the challenges they have to take speaking to customers as well.
That's great.
So we're trying to change the culture within the bank and be that number one bank for entrepreneurs.
Geeta, there's been a lot in the news recently about how ladies are treated in the workplace in terms of gender equality and pay equality and so on. As an entrepreneur, do you face any particular barriers as a lady, as a woman?
It's difficult to say on this journey because clearly we're quite at an early stage. I'd like to think that won't be the case. We're working on a business that really does harness inclusion, but I would really recommend, if there are any other business entrepreneurs out there that are looking for a supportive programme, we certainly haven't felt it currently, but I am aware that there is an element of bias against gender, and also around equality, ethnicity. Yeah, exactly. Right. So the great thing about this programme is we haven't experienced it, and if anything, I'm sure James would want to encourage any business women or men out there from all ethnicities and backgrounds to come forward if they've got a good business idea and they want to take it to that next level and they're serious and committed about it. Certainly we're getting the support ourselves. But moving forward, hopefully we won't see those barriers. But I'd like to say, I suppose in the past I may have experienced them in the corporate world, and we believe in trying to make sure that we overcome them. Yes. Personally being responsible for the people that we employ within Green Sisters, and obviously in the environment that we create for other individuals moving forward.
That's tremendous. And in terms of your business, it's early days.
It is.
What advice would you give to other people, young people who are starting out in business?
Be truly passionate about what you're doing, because the days that are going to be the hardest days, you will find yourself being challenged as to why you're doing it. And if you're really true to the business that you've chosen, you will still work hard and make sure it happens. That's really, really essential. And really, go in with your eyes open, be prepared to learn, be prepared to really kind of, change and make a difference to the world. And, ultimately those are the reasons that I get out of bed in the morning, and I'm sure that that's the same for Rena.
It's very important you have a passion and a desire, and you have an interest in your product. And it's not just about the profit or the money. And sometimes that's a byproduct. And people who treat the success, the financial reward as a byproduct, they're often the most successful. Is that right, James?
I agree. It's about the why you do something. That the wealth creation and the chasing for wealth will drive your energy so long. But if your why is pure and it's trying to create a greater good, whether that's creation of jobs, whether that is supporting people and including people in just a dining experience, that drive and that customer-centric focus will always be there. And it will keep the company on track with its values. And you won't cut corners because it's that why is so pure. And it's the focus for the individual.
That's tremendous. It sounds very exciting. And it's great to start a new business, Geeta. But we must remember there's a lot of challenges in the present economy. There's a lot of change, uncertainty, a lot of disruption with the internet and the world of online. How will you cope with the world of online with your business, Geeta?
You know, we're constantly looking at how to make sure we are in line with what the current changes are in technology. So, you know, it's interesting, earlier today we were particularly having a meeting about that. So I guess it's just being aware, forward thinking, associating yourself in the right, you know, groups and circles, and maintaining that sort of knowledge of what's happening within the ecosystem that, you know, the world that we live in, you know, really harnesses. Digital now is really, really important. So, you know, we're going to stay ahead of digital.
And change.
And change, yeah.
Change is continuous.
Yeah.
The change is accelerating.
Yeah.
James, finally, how can businesses cope with continuous change?
I think it's to be aware of change that's occurring. So don't focus on just the here and the now and what's happening and how you deliver your business. Look around you and look at what innovations are being released at the moment. There's normally a curve of innovation, and you need to understand how technology, how legislation is going to be disruptive and how it could change your business or your organisation. And then going out there and speaking to the thought leaders. I think there's this mystery that an entrepreneur needs to know all the answers, and it's surrounding themselves with experts. It's having that network around them of trusted advisors they could go to and speak to. I hope we provide that for Geeta, but for any entrepreneur who's setting out there, is be aware what's going on, not just on your doorstep, but what's happening on a global scale, but build a network of trusted advisors around you.
That's tremendous. James Powell, Regional Director, Natwest, in charge of entrepreneurship, and Geeta Salhan, Green Sisters, a new food business helping people with allergies and avoiding gluten. We wish you well. It's a new business, and we hope you'll come back and give us an update as to how you're getting on in the future. Thank you very much for joining us on the Seek Channel Business Show. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. And now we can just do the ending together. If you hold hands. Right. That's it.
Okay.
And if you follow me.
Which camera am I looking into?
Into
Sorry.
the middle
Yeah,
camera.
I was wondering.
Waheguru.
Waheguru.
Jika Khalsa.
Jika Khalsa.
Waheguru.
Waheguru.
Ji ki Fateh.
Ji ki Fateh.